it says, yeah, we have 32 hours to record.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, so we can start.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Thanks for being here with us, Mikhail.
Yeah.
You are, to me, you are the face of the Devjam brand that we have here at Sytac. Every time I think about Devjam, I think about you. You're like the little magician behind the scenes. And we've seen you work your magic on different platforms, different events in the past. And I know that you're also one of our most successful consultants in the sense of how many projects you worked on, how many clients you worked with, etc. So yeah, I'd like to introduce you back to the Sytac community. Tell us about yourself.
So my name is Mikhail, as you already said. I'm originally from Belarus, live in Netherlands for 7 years already. So I worked for Sytac 6 of these 7 years. I have family, kid and wife, and I like different stuff. I like making videos. I like snowboard, skateboard, and some other extreme sports, which I don't do, by the way, because it's not my job. Also I like computer gaming, but I never play. I have this hobby to buy games for the future, somewhere in the future, and just have a collection in Steam and 0% playing.
Let me just tell you that I have the same thing, but with video gear. So I would love to, I like to, shoot videos, etc. And I keep buying gear, but I never get to use all of it. So it's just sitting there collecting dust. But I know what you mean. Like I said, we know you mostly from Devjam. What is Devjam?
Devjam, it's kinda a brand, let's say. It's not maybe trademarked yet, but it should be maybe in the future. But with this name, we usually organize different events, mostly meetups through the meetup.com or through LinkedIn. We also have conference, so we made it already 2 times, and we're gonna move forward for another one.
That was amazing.
Yeah, thanks. Then we do podcasts, we do blog posts, but it's all related to Sytac, because Devjam is, let's say, sub-brand of Sytac, and it should be developed and more known. So
absolutely.
That's why we try to do it. And for example, with probably will do also like a newsletter later. We have idea about this also.
It's also very new, right?
Yeah,
exactly. I'm personally impressed with how fast things have been improving and developing over the months, and it's not even years, right? Cool. And tell us a little bit more about the types of events that you guys organize.
Yeah, let's say the main one nowadays is a conference. It's internal conference, so we try to make event for the internal employees, so to make them like more engaged, maybe more interested, more loyal to the company. And also we want to spread information about Sytac and Devjam itself, so that's why we invite external people to this conference. Also we do external meetups, so people come to Sytac's office, see what we're doing, ask questions why this office is like this, etc., because they love to ask this question in Amsterdam. And then also from the events, we sometimes in the past supported conferences, but we didn't think about Devjam name in there. That we had Sytac and Devjam sometimes, and mostly Sytac, of course. We also do workshops, which is cool, but we decided to separate it a bit. It's still Devjam, but it's gonna be Devjam Labs, as I remember. And the guys in Devjam Labs gonna do workshops internally and externally. So that's the main idea. And the main goal is spread the word about Sytac, because Sytac should be more known, because we want more like colleagues, employees, clients, etc., etc. So the Devjam's goal is to make Sytac a bigger company.
Spreading the knowledge, right? Yeah, I see that a lot with these meetups that you guys organize a lot. I think it's even like every 2 weeks or something like that. Yeah, okay. So most of the meetups take place in Amsterdam, correct? In the Amsterdam Dev Hub? Awesome. Must be a lot of work to get, to organize these things, because I don't come up from like an event organizational background or anything like that, but I know people, friends, etc., acquaintances that get into that, and there's a lot of work. You got to coordinate different things to make it happen. What is it like for you?
It became much easier as soon as we got our office in Amsterdam, because previously a lot of time was taken with searching for the location. So you search for the venue, you ask your friends, maybe some colleagues from other companies if they can host it. But now as we have office in Amsterdam, the only thing I should do to announce a meetup and to find the speakers. We now changed a bit the way how we search for the speakers. We obligatory wants to have one person from the company. So then you have somebody who speaks from the company with the company knowledge.
Okay.
Plus, he involves himself in the, let's say, soft skills, because you need to communicate, you need to answer questions, hear and listen. And also we want somebody external, because sometimes knowledge of the external people is totally different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we want to share the knowledge of our developer and of the developer of other company. And yeah, the knowledge sharing is pretty important here. But from the organization perspective, I think just the searching is important.
Nice. And then you have to, make sure that the technical side of things is
Yeah,
taken care of.
but it's all set up in our office,
yeah.
so every cable's already in place. So.
Yeah, already. Yeah, that's amazing. And how do you juggle, because you mentioned earlier that you have a child, you have a family to take care of. You're also working on the client, which I'd love to get into, shortly, but how do you manage all of this? Do you have any tips about time management?
Yeah, I use 3 applications to time manage myself.
Okay.
The first one is Notes. Apple Notes, because it's the fastest application for the quick texting you can run on iOS. So I have a widget with the only one note in my notes, which I quickly open if I need to note something.
Yeah.
Then I use Notion. I have a board there with to do in progress complete, and then I just move some items from my notes to this board. And also I do use calendar, for example, if some note somewhere in the future and I want not to forget about it, so I just add it to the calendar.
Smart.
And of course, if something is pretty quick to do, I don't know, call mom, so I just pick up my phone and call, and then I can just remove it from the notes.
There you go. Yeah. It's like a FIFO stack, right? Okay, nice, man. Nice. Actually, like a funny story is that the company manual page. Yeah. It's hosted on Notion. And the reason we started using Notion, I don't know if people know this, but the reason we started using Notion in the first place is because of you. Because I think we were having a conversation and it slipped. But that's amazing. Thanks for helping out with that. So next to the Devjam and the personal, you work for a client at the moment. Can you tell us more about who you work for and what kind of projects you're involved in?
My project is really weird to discuss usually, because people are like, why, wow, cool, nice, because it sounds like logistics with the blockchain. Like it's in domain of logistics, but because of the privacy and document, we thought in the very beginning blockchain can help us to keep private and secure. Yeah. So we also use blockchain in there, and it's mostly now related. We have clients and we are committed to the one type of transportation. It's transportation between EU and UK, because you have already customs in there and you want to make process faster and cheaper. So all the food, because British will die if we will not drive there the food for them. So we want to make this process of customs clearance for the goods much faster. So previously you had a special person who goes to the border, to the customs with the paper about the car, and now we just do it online and we connect it to the UK's customs. They just receive all the papers, and as soon as truck arrives, it's already kind of custom cleared. Right.
So you're automating the customs clearance between the EU and the UK.
Yeah, that's the goal we do right now. We can do any type of documents whenever we want, but
the specific use case.
Because we have already clients, big clients from Netherlands who supply, let's say, goods, food from Netherlands to UK. And it's a lot. I didn't know that the Netherlands really feed the whole UK. So all the tomatoes, cucumbers, and the stuff is going from here. Yeah, and we not only automate it, but we make it cheaper, because declarant itself is a pretty expensive person. It's like £100 for customs clearance for custom clearance of one container. Okay. So in our case, it's around €40, and it's a lot because we can make price cheaper. Cause it's just an application. So, but we counted that like £100 and €40 is a big difference already.
Absolutely, nice. And knowing you, Mikhail, you originally, at least your background is front-end development, correct? And to me, blockchain, etc., doesn't seem very front-end. Can you tell me about the evolution towards this project or this technology?
So, I kind of mostly a front-end developer, but when I started my education in the programming, I started with the backend. It was PHP. So, and the first thing I learned how the backend works, about databases, all the connections and the stuff. And then I switched it to front end just because it looks funny. You made something, you immediately see the result instead of JSON or whatever structure from the backend. And the blockchain, like I like backend, I like frontend, and then Node.js appeared, and I'm JavaScript fan, a big JavaScript fan, and I figured out I can write backend within JavaScript, and I decided to use this pretty fast Node.js server to connect with the blockchain, which started to become more popular in the past. And I thought maybe there's some future in this, or at least it's interesting technology. You always want to be on the edge, you want to know what's going on. So I just started to dig with it. I made, I think, a workshop, it was called here, about how to create smart contracts. And then, just projects appeared. Immediately, there was one from ABN, one from Deloitte, now from Port of Rotterdam, like the vendor of them, blockchain, BlockLab.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into it, just because I was interested in this itself. I never loved cryptocurrencies. I didn't even start to be interested in the blockchain because of crypto, just because of blockchain itself.
Because of the technology
Yeah,
itself.
the technology. And now I see that technology is not so good for cases we try to use it, and the cryptocurrencies are even worse.
Interesting. And this is your fourth client with Sytac?
Oh, let me count. So I had Greenwheels, I had ABN first time, then I had Deloitte, then I had ABN second time, which is this project which moved from ABN to Port of Rotterdam, from Port of Rotterdam to BlockLab. So I have kind of 5 clients, but like 3 of them, 5 clients and 3 of them are kind of on the same project.
Interesting. So do you think that this...
Yeah, and ABN twice.
ABN, okay. And how do you think about like this journey of things? Because it seems to me like all over the place, but at the same time, I feel like there's a logical evolution.
It kinda is.
Yeah.
So I started from the front end and React and Greenwheels when I started in Sytac, and then I moved to blockchain, front end blockchain developer, because in ABN on the project they wanted face of the blockchain. They need something to sell, and you can only sell front end. So if you have something on the front end. And then it was Deloitte again, blockchain project, because they were searching for a person, and accidentally I appeared on the radar, so in Sytac. It was a bad project, they just started, so I don't know what I've been doing there. They said, we're thinking about this, so let's do something.
Yeah.
Like, but you didn't think it.
Yeah.
And then I moved again back to ABN to another project, just because I wanted to continue with the blockchain. So it started from the front end to blockchain, and then something unknown in Deloitte, something happening there. And then I moved to the ABN second project, which has a backend involvement from me, and the front end involvement and the smart contract. So that was, logical evolution from some touches of the blockchain to the direct working with this.
I'm glad you were able to facilitate this type of evolution within the client base that we have.
Yeah, but also I would say thank to Sytac here, because I've been on the bench for 4 months, not because there is no project, because I wanted a blockchain project. Sytac was searching for this, so they didn't push me, they said we'll find it.
Interesting. Okay, so going back to Sytac, one of the things that I like to ask is, most people is what, because we at Sytac, we don't just focus on the work, but we also like to have fun outside of work. What is your favorite Sytac event to attend?
Oh, Sytac at Snow, of course. That's once per year, but maybe people don't know. Once per year we have this Sytac event, usually in Austria, where we just ski and snowboard, whatever likes. And this is probably the most fun one, because it's the longest one. It's with the road, it's around 3-4 days usually, and it's only Sytac people in there, so no externals involved. And it's fun. It's outside of the country, and then you snowboard, and everything is paid. So that's a cheap event for me, which is also cool. And I like snowboarding. Cool. And of course, you can see people from different perspective there. So usually here you see them silent, for example, maybe coding sometimes, and you do not meet these people. We are on a different project. But then you go there, you meet 50 people from the company or around this, and you see them differently. So what everybody likes, what everybody prefers, what everybody is afraid of.
Amazing. Yeah, you build a connection with your colleagues.
Yeah. Because you want to know the
Make
colleagues.
Friends, definitely.
I think when ABN came for the second time, because they came especially for me. So they didn't come for the developer itself. They chatted with me directly first, like and said, we want you in our team. I'm like, cool, nice, I like it. So maybe this one.
Yeah, it's coming back. Yeah. Nice.
4 months on the bench. Yeah, really, because like you come here to the office like few times per week, you do almost nothing here. You have internal projects, but like you just continue to do what other people started in the past, and you know you will not finish it, so there will be somebody else jumping on this
with internal projects.
Yeah, with internal projects. So if I'll find a project, if there will be a project for me, I will leave this internal one, and then somebody will come and continue. So.
Continuation, yeah.
Yeah, and this is like a bit afraid. So you see what was written before, you kind of okay, it's okay, you can continue with this, but you're always afraid what other people who will come to this project will think about you. Yeah, and then 4 months of this, and then you just go. Yeah, it was embarrassing. I'm not sure if I didn't like it, but it was like I felt uncomfortable. That's beautiful. So I received my salary for nothing, and it's like fuck.
Gotcha. Who is your favorite Sytac person?
Valentin.
Valentin.
Yeah, because I know him much before Sytac and Netherlands at all. So we are friends since Minsk, since Belarus. So maybe that's why. And we live close to each other, so we meet each other pretty often. We have a lot of friends in Amsterdam, common friends, also from Belarus. So that's why.
How is it like to live in the Netherlands for 7 years?
Yeah, 7 years. That's a tricky question because I would like to compare it with Minsk, but I lived in Minsk only for 3 years. So I'm living here as a person who's not living with the parents. Most of my, let's say, adult life I lived here in Netherlands. So for me it's like, yeah, it's okay, I'll always live here.
It's your second home.
Yeah, first one already. I have a house, I have car, I have kid who speaks Dutch and learns in Dutch and studies at Dutch school. So it's maybe it's already the first one, the first place I want to return if I think about home. And I'm missing this place, by the way. When I go somewhere to the south, it's like nice and warm, but then like no, there's socially like around you it's much better here. But then you go to the north where kind of social is even better, but like it's so cold. No, it's like a great middle in between, like cold and expensive and cheap, warm and dirty.
Oh, you mean okay.
Yeah, so that's why.
You mean in Europe?
Yeah, in Europe, but even not in Europe. Usually, like north countries are more rich and good, and then the south ones are lazy because of south, probably all the sun.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so and in comparison with Belarus, it's much better here because I live here more. I already familiar with the laws, with the rules, and if I go back to Belarus, I kind of remember what's going on there. But then
So it just became your home.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But I don't speak Dutch. I hope that developers will watch this video, and the main thing I want to say that there is no like best technology. Any stack, it's just a tool, and you shouldn't negotiate this is better or this is worse or PHP is better than JavaScript, etc. Just because every tool is for the specific situation, and if you use these tools properly, they all are great. So just remember this and never say that some of the languages or technologies is bad. It's not bad, it's for another purpose.
Absolutely, and this is something actually that we try to push for here in Sytac. When you have this consultant mindset, technology is just a second citizen, right? So you want to think about technology as a tool instead of like branding yourself. I'm only the front-end guy or the back-end guy, and this is exactly what you proved because you were able to mold yourself into a front-end developer, and then you jumped into blockchain, you just embraced it and used it, and then you also experienced with back-end, so it's all over the place in a good way, not in a bad way. Do you have any announcements with Devjam? Like Devjam
we do. We have conference next spring. That's the most important announcement. We are still searching internal speakers, which is also important, and we of course invite every Sytac employee to join the event. It will be like limited amount of seats because we have small office. Exclusive. So if you want to join, you definitely should RSVP as soon as we will announce the RSVP process.
What's in it for someone who wants to speak?
Just contact me, Mikhail@sytac.io, the shortest email you can imagine, and and I immediately will answer you. Just put in the subject that you want to speak on the conference.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's amazing, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's good.
Bye.